Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Titans, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. To throw on 2nd down, Ferguson. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 16 yards there, a Tennessee first down. On first down, Dobbins. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. And the offensive starters for Tennessee.
One thing for us to keep in mind and remember, they're coming off of their open week last week. They got to sit home and relax a little bit before the final stretch of the season. They got the lucky draw because every team in the league wants to have that open week later in the year rather than early. They benefited.
Now this one was tight end out on the right side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. A run through the starters defensively for the Texans. They were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Operating from the gun, Ferguson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And an alley to run. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They'll run the jet sweep with Brown, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. on second down now. McAllister. It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Back to throw. Ferguson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. Now on fourth down, Doug Peterson turns it over to the field goal unit. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading him out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll have a first down past the 40. And nothing but daylight ahead. A big-time play there for the Texans. 65 yards on the ground. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Out of the gun, Watson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
And the play of this offensive line is going to tell a big story. And right now, if you're a fan of this team, you're loving the story that they are telling. They've already created some holes in the running game on this opening drive, and they're going to need to keep it up for these guys to have a big chance at victory.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hey, 31!
Throwing again is Watson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. From 10 yards out, and the Texans have taken the lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. While he gets attended to, we'll step aside. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus. We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out. Because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On now is the Titans punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fielded at the 20. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. Eight yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you've got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back.
The wide receiver, the ball carrier, incomplete in the end zone.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. Watson now to throw. On the move to his left. He's going to take off with it. The 20. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson steps away. And this will be a touchdown. Deshaun Watson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Texans push further out in front. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
No. Davis from the top rope. I like it. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the final act belonged to Deshaun Watson in his touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10.
On the double. 43. Check, 43. It's our field. It's our field.
They'll run on 1st down. Dobbins. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And they give this time to the tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The Titans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Ferguson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
On now is the Titans punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Texans to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak and right now looking good in this one as well. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. On 1st down, Bowden. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up the 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
On 1st down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 2nd down, Bowden. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
A big play that time for the Titans. 48 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now throwing on 1st down and completing it. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A gain of 6 there on 1st. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
After reviewing the play,
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. 2nd and 4. Got him in. It's Brown. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee. The first red zone opportunity for the Titans. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Come on now, let's go. Here we go, set, 10 logo. Bring it. Now.
From the gun, Ferguson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. If you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it's going to be tipped up and picked off.
And his kick is indeed good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are in the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into half.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it indeed. Here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis. And it's the Jaguars who have the lead in the second quarter. The Jags looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. From there, we head to Hard Rock Stadium to check on the Dolphins at home in Miami. And that one's gone to the half with the visiting Broncos on top. The Broncos seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City, see what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And that game all tied up with the visiting Green Bay Packers. In the game you're watching, it's Deshaun Watson, who is the star of the first half. His guys have the lead, as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Watson. Flushed out right. He'll try and run him. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
On first down, Watson being chased out left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Stevens. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. Escaping the pressure right. He'll run it. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
On 2nd down now. Bowden. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Bowden. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll try the air now with Watson. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6. 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1. Now it's Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. He may try and run for this. He finds an opening past the 40. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
They'll run on first down. Dobbins. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Ready? 15 line up. 15 line. We're pretty quiet, team. We're pretty quiet. Ready?
Looking to throw on second down. Ferguson going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 45-yard line.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Here we go.
So 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 45-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Complete. Smith has it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well.
60 Pittsburgh. 43. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength. Go.
On first down, Dobbins. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
Go now. 60 out there.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Set. 18 Gator. Let him know. Deep dribble.
To throw on second down, Ferguson. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Dobbins. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
He can run for it, and he will. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
That's a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
They come out here in the eye. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. Penny, and he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. They tried to let the fullback pound it in between the tackles, but he stopped up short. And his Texans defense comes up with a goal line stand.
57, 19.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. 4th quarter, holding on to a lead. Fullback carry, 3 or 4 yards. I guess that's what you're looking for.
And it just brings back memories for me because I remember my coaches in this situation. I remember one time my head coach into his headset telling the offensive coordinator, I want the big boy carrying the ball. And that's what you have in this spot. Him covering up on the ball, taking care of it, and grinding out yardage.
And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
The end result was brute force on brute force. But think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
On 3rd down, Bowden. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big hitter there from deep in their own territory. 61 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So a slight improvement in field position, you might say, from inside their own 10 to this as they come up on 1st down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on 1st down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans push further out in front.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that will make this a 19-point game. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost, it was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw. Ferguson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. 2nd and 5. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. And to give this time to the tailback. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Looking to throw. Ferguson. He's got Smith here. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Texans scoop it. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And here comes the Texans now. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Right back to him on first down. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. On 2nd down, Bowden. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. They'll run on first down. Bowden stopped up shy of the 45 despite some pretty powerful running. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Texans, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9.
everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Detroit Lions. With that, let's head inside the Ford Field in Detroit. We're standing by are the two men who will bring you this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Detroit Lions. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
It's been a tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading the charge will be their quarterback, always fun to watch, Deshaun Watson.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
On 1st and 10, Watson got his man complete over the middle. That's Stevens. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where he, their big tight end, is so good. That middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Switch up, switch up. Hey, 31. 51, Mike, listen. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Here's Watson throwing again. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They're a tough unit to throw against, currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Now Watson. And that's caught inside the 30. Give him 32 on the play.
Let's go.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Brandon, unless my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, that's the 2nd time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking. And his first carry, he loses the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's the 2nd and 7. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. The numbers for him from a week ago: 19 carries, 75 yards, and a touchdown.
And even though it's a short week, running backs love when they're in a groove, and that's exactly where he is right now. He's hoping to feast a little bit more here on Thanksgiving.
He'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. They'll look to throw. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. 1 carry, and that carry was a lost fumble.
Clear his mind, clear his hands, and just let this one go. Sometimes it happens. You drop the ball, get a full game ahead of him, hand it to him again, see if they can start to produce.
Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing on 2nd down. Watson steps away to his left. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Watson on 1st down. Forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Watson now. Going to throw again. Flush to his right.
Let's go, baby.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. To throw is Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you get your best people in the area to try and take that away.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And you want to talk about active hands. These guys, these defensive backs, these linebackers, they've had active hands.
Almost reminds you of those great basketball teams, the ones that really defend. And we talk about the length that they have and able to get their hands on balls and have deflections and knock them away. That's what we're seeing here. Very difficult to get a pass into a receiver because there's always someone in the lanes.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. On second down now. Bowden. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. We're scoreless after 1. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the 50, it's Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. Here's Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Watson, off play action. Rolling, and pressure gets to him again. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Here's Johnny Townsend to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up. He's got the lane, and there he goes. He's at the 40, past the 20, and he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A big hitter there from deep in their own territory. 86 yards. Nothing fancy there. A little smash-mouth football right up the gut on the dive, and it turns into a huge play.
You talk about the fastest way to the secondary. Right up the gut, as you described, and sprinted into the secondary for a long, long run.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's second and goal. And now a carry here for the fullback. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to third and goal. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. From 13 yards out, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good, we're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Hawthorne. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack.
Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to... And he's going to go down again. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads. They don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
An explosive 38-yard pickup. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll drop the throw. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. And into the red zone now, and Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points, so you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes, make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They'll set up the throw, and that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. From 4 yards out, and the Lions are able to extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Back to the air on second down. Hawthorne over the middle, complete. It's Stevens. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. On first down, Hawthorne. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Throwing again. Hawthorne. He's going to rifle one deep into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And a happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there as we look ahead to 2 more games later today and then a full slate coming up this weekend. In the early window, we'll have our eye on that game in Jacksonville. The Jaguars going to need to be on their A game as they'll be forced to reckon.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. On first down, it's Gray, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 30 yards there, and of course the first down as well.
And there's an example of not taking your practice work, your drill work, and turning it into game speed. You work on that all the time. 3rd and long, you want to let them make the catch, rally to the football, tackle them short of the sticks. The pursuit there, not that great.
Yeah, not great. That may be an understatement. That turned into a big play. He'll look to throw. Pulled in by Avant. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Texans scoop it. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Bowden, and he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
On 4th down, Hawthorne. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done. So I think going forward there was the right call.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. On 2nd down, it's Gray. And he's going to be close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 31. They run again here with Gray. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go.
He's got a man complete. It's a gain of 35. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Hawthorne. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. In for the score. And the Texans get a bit closer. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we...
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. He'll drop to throw. Avant brings it in. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans.
We got it. Good job, D. Good job, D.
This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Badgley on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Jesus, second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback, because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
On second down now. It's Gray, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They'll look to throw here. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. Pulled in at the 24. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out comes Houston. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch.
Looking to throw. Hawthorne going up top. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Mike 54. Mike 54. Man out. Come on. Right there. 54. Right there. 54 Mike. All you get is a headache.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Hawthorne under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. On 4th down, Hawthorne. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. On the run, this is Gray. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
Good solid gain on 1st down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
They come out here in the I. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. That one looks looks like he'll throw here. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Special when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the
too.
whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his second touchdown there. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Watson of the Texans now. Down 24-14. 24 seconds to go. And their 4-game winning streak in great danger. They'll run on first down. Bowden. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. And Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for Detroit, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they go down to defeat